Good morning, everybody. This is your hillbilly historian coming to you from the hills of East Tennessee to give you some insight into American knowledge. But anyway, today I want to talk about chickens. I have a good friend who's retired on a houseboat, Norris Lake. Before he retired, he had TV shows, radio shows, talking about current issues and everything. His name was Ron Sharp, and he had a show called The Wild Bob and Ron Show. Excuse me, Bob was Bob Andrews. Grew up in North Carolina. Attended the University of North Carolina. Was a good friend of Andy Griffith. He ended up retired here, and he was a man of great political philosophy himself. But anyway, old Ronnie told about going down to visit his daughter in Miami, and chickens were everywhere, in the streets, on fences, people's porches, yards, everywhere, chickens. And he went down and visited Key West. Same thing there, chickens everywhere. And he also said the economy in Miami at that time and Key West was thriving. People were doing real well. But when he came back home, La Follette, Tennessee, small town of about 7,000 people here in East Tennessee, had outlawed chickens. Seemed that some woman didn't like hearing a neighbor's rooster crow in the morning. Now, what kind of Appalachian person would be that sick? But she complained and complained until the city council outlawed chickens for everybody because of this one heartless, gutless woman crying and complaining, and the city council outlawed chickens. And I lost from this because there was a neighbor up behind me that had chickens, and I could hear a chicken crowing every morning, a big rooster. And I loved it. I love the sounds of chickens. I grew up with chickens everywhere. And you'd hear roosters crow in the morning. It was wonderful, wonderful sound. But anyway, the economy of La Follette is flat. In fact, while Bob and Ron drove through town, counted 110 buildings where businesses had gone out of business. These buildings were empty. Nothing. Nacho, nothing. And zilch. Economy. All the big employers of La Follette had left. None were coming back in. The economy sucked. Bad shape. But we outlawed chickens. Now, anybody with two brain cells to spark together would know chickens ain't got a damn thing to do with the economy of La Follette or Miami or Key West, Florida. Chickens ain't got nothing to do with the economy. So what's the point? The point is, people in La Follette are obsessed by things that don't matter in life. Minutiae. Absolutely obsessed by doing ridiculous things like outlawing chickens. It's sick. It's exemplary of the culture of La Follette that people are obsessed over things that don't matter in life. There ain't nothing wrong with chickens. They should have told this old hag, you know, put earplugs in. Buy you a set of earplugs and wear them all day if you don't like the sound of chickens. You know, quit being a butthole. But the small-minded people we had in power outlawed chickens. Miami, Key West, people work hard, they're free, and chickens don't bother them. They're busy making money. You know, a rooster crowing in the morning don't bother them. It's some people just become obsessed with minutiae, and they have to step on other people's liberties and freedoms, and it's ridiculous. It's small-minded, and you see this in small towns all across America, where they pass zoning laws and regulations on this and regulations on that. Minutiae. They're not concentrating on what makes their community thriving and economically growing and sound. But that's the America we live in. We have the freedom to be fools, the freedom to be idiots, the freedom to be morons, and the freedom to elect these idiots, morons, and fools into government office where they hinder the growth of America because they're small-minded, obsessed with minutiae. Now, isn't that interesting? The cultural differences between La Follette, Tennessee, and Miami, Florida, Key West, Florida, is amazing. Amazing. Down there, they're free. They're free to have chickens in their yard. Here in La Follette, we live in a tyranny of small-minded people outlawing things they have no business outlawing. It's amazing, amazing how evil government led by small-minded people can be. But anyway, this is your hillbilly historian talking about the impact of chickens on your economy. So, good day. Have a nice one. Catch you later. This is your hillbilly historian here in the hills of East Tennessee signing off.